Yo! The music has wound down. The audio is working. Look at us. Look at us. Look at us. We're doing the thing. We're here. All is well in the world. Not really, but you know, we're trying. We're doing our best. Hello, Gayfesh! What are you streaming about tomorrow? I saw that you were not streaming today, but you are streaming tomorrow. Yes, yes. Hello, Baphomet. Hello. Oh gosh, I was on the Transatlantic Call-In show earlier. If you missed it, that's okay, because the VOD is still up. I was on with Arden Hart. So far, all 3 of the times that I've been on that show, I've been on with Arden. I am supposed to be on there again on November 30, I believe. November 30? Let me double check. Or November 29. No, November 30 is a Thursday. So yeah, I'll be on there again, and that time it's probably going to be with either Katie Montgomery or Dr. Ben. So I already have my next time on the Transatlantic Call-In show scheduled, for those of you who tend to be curious about that. I'm going to be doing a joint review of Killers of the Flower Moon with Demon Mama. Ooh, that sounds fun. Heck yes. Patricia Taxon released Tech Talk 7, and it's 4 hours, 33 minutes, 11 seconds long. I'm not going to be able to listen to it all. Yeah, no, rip. Goodness gracious. So, yeah, the good thing about doing the call-in show is that you do get to trade off your voice. You get like one person talks and then the other person talks, but still, goodness gracious. It's a marathon for me on the days where I do Takis and then my own show. But I'm excited to chit-chat. What's up, Mersh? I don't know what your shirt is, but somehow it's giving sporty goth dad vibes. Sporty gothic dad vibes. I mean, I feel like that's not inaccurate. It's like a jersey, or like, what do you call this? I don't know what it's called. It's like, it's pretty soft. It's pajama-ish. I don't know. It is pretty comfy though, and I enjoy wearing it. So we're in that weird transition. It's not quite cold yet, you know? One of my favorite underground trans artists' last EP became the best-selling item on Bandcamp yesterday. That's very exciting. Sporty gothic dad vibes. I guess that kind of sums up my entire deal. Sporty gothic dad. Yeah. I mean, true. Oh, goodness. The song is called Chaser by Femtanil. Like Fem. Okay. Sounds fun. Anyhow, has everyone done their Halloween decorating? We're in the first hour of the stream. We kind of just talk about whatever. I mean, I guess these ones where I start at 5:30, I tend to cut off the conversation part after the first like half an hour, because I'm just so used to 6 o'clock being when we start talking about the news. But so we just kind of talk about whatever and chit chat, and then we'll start talking about whatever serious BS we have to talk about in a little while. I saw about the last 30 minutes of the call-in show. Will the VOD be up on Monday? I think that the VOD should already be up, hypothetically, for the Transatlantic Call-In show. I feel like it should be available already. You don't have to think too hard about the dad thing. I mean, I just think that it's surprisingly accurate, which is why I was mulling it over. It's like, okay, sporty gothic dad vibes. I think that actually does encapsulate me pretty well. If I do any Halloween decorations, my ADHD won't let me put it away until May, so I just don't do any. I'm becoming the kind of person who's excited about the prospect of getting to change and add new decor to my house. I am becoming a person who's like, I'm gonna start I'm like making and putting Halloween decor around. I mean, like, I feel like I should go put this witch hat somewhere else because the pumpkin was already here. But now the witch hat is on the pumpkin because obviously my cat doesn't want it on his head, even though I made it for his little head. I don't decorate so much anymore since I live alone. I mean, fair enough. Am I doing it for anyone else is the question. I don't think I am. I think I'm doing it because I want to, and if people enjoy it, that's cool, and if they're annoyed by it, then mostly oh well, I guess. I don't know. Uh, it's fairly unobtrusive. I've just started putting little trinkets in places. Oh gosh. But yeah, the VOD should be up already. So if you wanted to watch it later, then yeah, you've got the access. You've got the access. So my my family unit and I did our jack-o'-lantern carving last night. I have a picture on my computer of it. I guess kind of. No, I kind of don't. So my jack-o'-lantern is the Minecraft face one. And then teenager did an emoji, and then my partner made like a little ninja guy, and that's our jack-o'-lanterns now. So I feel like, as an adult, maybe it's not a very popular thing to be still doing jack-o'-lanterns. Like, I don't know that I know very many folks who still do them. Yeah, haha. Yeah, we're doing Smuggy already. Yeah. But it's a good time, the annual squishing of the gourd. It's a good time. I am not the kind of person who's invested enough in the process that I want to roast the seeds, though. Oh, thank you, Mersh. I like your decorations. They do liven up things some. It's nice. I listen to seasonal music rather than decorate, and I watch seasonal movies. Fair enough. I mean, yeah, maybe not everybody's into decorating. This is nice, because it's my little altar area, and I moved it so that it's more visible to you guys, because I'm going to be changing it seasonally, and that's going to keep things interesting. And it probably won't be the same from year to year. 30 years old and never made any jack-o'-lanterns. Is it specific to North America? Is it? I mean, pumpkins are native to North America, I think. Question mark. I'm pretty sure. Wait. Are jack-o'-lanterns international? Jack-o'-lanterns trace their origins back to the Old World traditions in countries including Ireland, Scotland, and England. Yeah. Jack-o'-lanterns originated in Irish myths, says this one article on the History Channel. The carving of vegetables has been a common practice in many parts of the world. It is believed that the custom of making jack-o'-lanterns at Halloween time began in the British Isles. In the 19th century, quote, turnips or mangel wurzels, hollowed out to act as lanterns and often carved with grotesque faces, unquote, were used on Halloween in parts of Ireland and the Scottish Highlands. So yeah, and then it filtered over to the New World. So they would have been carving turnips and stuff back then, and then probably the proliferation of pumpkin jack-o'-lanterns specifically would not have been until later. There's evidence that turnips were used to carve what was called a Hobbardy's lantern in Worcestershire, England at the end of the 18th century. The application of the term to carved pumpkins in American English is first seen in 1837. The carved pumpkin was first associated with the harvest season in general before it became a symbol of Halloween specifically. In 1895, an article on Thanksgiving entertaining recommended giving a lit jack-o'-lantern as a child's prize in Thanksgiving games. So, that's cool. It was originally like just a harvest thing in general. Yeah, and then became more of a spooky thing later. At least in America. So, there, now we know things. I'm into decorating, I just can't afford it. Yeah, so here's how I'm decorating for the holidays. I am crocheting stuff. That's what this is. It's crochet. Wow. And so is this. And I have a 3D printer. I have numerous 3D printers to choose from. So Um, that's kind of like, I'm not really buying anything. That's all. I just already have the means to make stuff. I happen to have, like, yarn sitting around because I've been buying yarn and being gifted yarn for a while. A sky blue pumpkin. It's white. Does it look blue in this lighting? Because it is supposed to be white. Where am I? This entire frame is very blue. Hello. 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 Yeah, anyway. He's a good friend. Yeah, this is the white light that I have on in the background, by the way. I don't know what I want from back here. Why is one of them so blue and the other one is so much more normal looking? Oh my goodness. Anyway. It looks like a lovely pale blue. Yeah, well, it is not. That is not the intention, unfortunately. But everything kind of looks blue in this shot. How about now? Now everything looks kind of green. Maybe I need to do color balance on the camera later when we're not on stream. Maybe I'll dick around and take some of the blue out. Anyhow. Can't get motivated to make or buy decorations. Haven't loved the holidays in a while. I'm doing this completely on my own terms. And, like, honestly, a lot of it is just because of the pagan bullshit that I've decided to get into. Is like, I'm just having fun. I'm a druid, fundamentally, is what I've learned. I'm a nature person. I enjoy being silly about those things. So, yes, queen. Amazing. Let me get a little drinky drink. Yeah, so I saved, like, a huge number of 3D printing designs that I don't know if I'm gonna actually get around to printing any of it. Because, like, oh man. It does actually take work, a little bit of work, to get the 3D printer started. Goodness gracious. Is there... I feel like we're in just a lull right now. Like, we got so accustomed to the, like, rapid fire, constant... Just, like, the constant laws passing and shit. Laws being proposed and laws passing. And now that we're in the legislative break, like, the session is no longer in session. It's like, oh my god, dude. Taking a breather, but also the lack of content. What's your favorite seasonal food? For me, it's mushroom and squash. It's mushroom and squash o'clock. Oh, yeah. I don't know what... I mean, I really like sweet potato pie or, like, a pumpkin pie. Those are really yummy. I just like having a nice variety of foods to choose from. That's kind of like the nice thing about it, is that there's so many different dishes. Like, on a normal dinner, like, if you go to a fast food place, you're gonna have, like, your main entree thing and then, like, a side, maybe. If you go to a restaurant, you might have your main entree and, like, 2 sides. Ooh, maybe even a salad beforehand. But at Thanksgiving, there's just, like, so much different stuff. You got your deviled eggs and your sweet potato whatever and your, like, potato salad and, like, green bean casserole and just all kinds of different shit. And that's part of what is so enjoyable about it. Harvest festivals are just amazing. You know, when you celebrate plenty, it's such a good time. I didn't make a big dinner for the Pagan Harvest Festival this year in September. But, so I'll make it up, and I'll make a big Thanksgiving dinner next month. I do intend, maybe not a big, but, like, definitely a decadent. I like to make decadent Thanksgiving meals. My Thanksgiving last year, it was the first time I ever made food for Thanksgiving, and it was crazy. I like sweet potato and pumpkin pies as well. Ooh, yes, they're delicious. Oh, what's going on in Pennsylvania? The police are actually trying to enforce 19th century witchcraft laws against fortune tellers. A tarot reader. Where is this from? The monastery? Is there a different website? Okay. What is this? Okay, so from the Hanover Borough Police Department, the purpose of the following message is to respond to recent social media attention. Whoa, okay. Whoa, hold on. Nope. I didn't mean to click on it. I guess if I try to highlight stuff, it's going to make me click on it. I hate when websites are like that. It's like, just let me look at the thing, please. Yeah, so I just want to look at this Facebook post. And this did take me to the Facebook post when I clicked on it. So the purpose of the following message is to respond to recent social media attention given to Pennsylvania Title 18, Section 7104, fortune telling. The statute prohibits, among other things, someone from predicting the future by reading of cards for gain. Okay. Upon observing an advertisement for a business in the borough of Hanover that offered tarot card readings, I engaged in a conversation with two individuals concerning the advertisement and my intent to educate the person or persons engaged in the acts about the above listed statute. There was never an investigation, nor was there any threat of arrest in this matter. With that being said, if a complaint was made against someone for engaging in acts qualifying as, quote, fortune-telling in the borough of Hanover, this department would be obligated to conduct an investigation. Are you serious? Is this your job, dude? Finally, regarding this issue, the only departmental time utilized was mine in an effort to educate someone and to prevent a future complaint or issue. If one possesses the sentiment that the statute does not protect anyone from harm and is not needed, then I would suggest that their proper recourse is to contact their legislators and voice their opinion. At a certain point, you just stop enforcing the law. Like, this is what happens with sodomy laws. When laws are dumb and archaic, you just stop enforcing them, okay? This is ridiculous. This is crazy. Imagine, like, doing tarot reading for a goof. You're like, I'm just doing it for fun, and people like to tip you for the experience of being walked through this cold read, basically. Like, I think plenty of people understand that it's not real, or that there are plenty of people who do tarot in a way that is not, like, literally fortune-telling. It's just, it's like, that's not how the cards even work. True, guess they better stop praying. Like, oh my god, there's so many... Like, is it the cards themselves that make it... Like, is being a Catholic priest who's receiving someone's confession, is that not a type of fortune-telling? You're like, I'm channeling the will of God, actually. I don't know. It's so silly that this is, like, why were you even asking? Why were you engaged? My dude, whoever this is this the sheriff who posted this? Chief of Police, Chad E. Martin. I engaged a conversation with two individuals concerning the advertisement and my intent to educate the person or persons engaged about the acts in the above statute. Like, bro, you really were about to go tell someone that they were breaking a witchcraft law? Like, you were about to go be like, by the way, you're breaking this ancient fucking witchcraft law, and we're gonna actually enforce it on you. Like, how unserious are you? Weather prognostication being illegal? True. Oh, did he actually go to her metaphysics shop and tell her the business? Oh my gosh, I am so tired today. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm just gonna be kind of yawny. Oh, maybe I should have made coffee. Oh well. True, Gayfesh. I arrested a person for chewing gum on the sidewalk on a Sunday. Well, if you don't like it, go ahead and petition your lawmakers. Like, bro, like, I conducted a SWAT raid and busted down the door of a man giving another man a blowjob, and I arrested them for sodomy. Oh, owned liberals, go talk to your fucking legislators if you don't like it. Like, really? Sigma Chad, true. That's so dumb. Oh god, I'm ready to start doing segments again. I think that counts as a segment. I'm ready to start editing again, I think is the more important aspect of that. Okay, what is today? What is today? The 25? Is today the 25? No, today's the 26. 26, 23. Oh my god, 23 is almost over. Did you know that 23 is almost over? That's crazy. It's gonna be the new year, like, before long. Before very long at all. It will be the new year. Are you ready? Are we ready for 2024? I think that, I don't know. I want everything to just pause for like a couple weeks. Can everything just stop happening? That would be grand. Oh, geez. I don't even have any particular links prepared for this Mike Johnson guy. Like, I think that he was the guy who led the panel of the Judiciary Committee when we watched the Judiciary Committee meeting where Chloe Cole and like 3 other transphobes went up against 2 pro-trans individuals on the panel. When was that? It was like a month ago. A month or 2 ago? Oh my god. Hold on. I'm just gonna hide. I'm just gonna go behind my hair now. I'm just gonna go away. You can't make me. I guess it will snow on Halloween here, so it'll be the nightmare before Christmas for real. True. Just over a year to the election. Oh my god. Speaking of the election, we got into an interesting conversation during the Transatlantic Call-In show earlier today about electoralism. And I think that probably this conversation is going to happen more and more the closer we get to the election, you know? I'm just going to lean back and bring you with me because I want to be over here right now because I'm sleepy. I don't know how many of you caught the show earlier. By the way, hit the like button if you're enjoying hanging out. We're just going to shoot the shit a little bit about Biden for a little while here, and I guess then we'll start talking about Mike Johnson and that whole thing. So anyway, there were some questions about, like, okay, is voting for Biden the same as voting, or is like, or should you might as well vote for Trump because Biden's just as bad when it comes to Israel and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Arden and I earlier. Yeah, I like Arden. We have good convos. I do genuinely, like, I think that she and I might, like, actually chill sometime and, like, talk about this subject because we were talking about, you know, should you vote for Biden, whatever, blah, blah, blah. My deal at this point is, like, I live in Kansas and my vote doesn't matter at all. So I don't know if I'm going to vote for Biden this time. I will go vote and vote down ballot. But, like, I don't really see why I shouldn't vote third party at this point. Like, at this particular point in time. And I'm not saying that that's, like, a long-term electoral strategy. I'm just saying that Kansas is heavily gerrymandered. And, like, so which way our districts go, like, our liberal areas have been cut off, like, cut apart and sectioned off into the surrounding rural districts in some cases. So, like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, we're not going to, we are not at risk of being a purple state. And so it doesn't matter how many individuals, if everybody thinks that way, then that's why these states never become purple states in the first place. Like, bro, I know what gerrymandering looks like and what it does. The main issue I think I take with the position you held on the line is that even if you say, I'm not voting because I'm not in a swing state, as a public advocate, other people who might think they're not in a swing state will likewise follow suit. I mean, yeah, I guess that's fair. And I did say, you know, someone did ask, oh, you're saying if someone is feeling secure in that they are in a blue state, like, oh, well, that's how blue states slip and become purple states, is because people feel like, oh, it's okay for them to not vote Biden. And And like, yeah, I guess that's fair, sure. John Get Bent, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Enjoy your dicks, sir or madam or other. Enjoy your colors. I will vote for Sleepy Joe even if he is dead, as some others have said. Yeah, Virginia's purple. Yeah, of course. So I guess what you're saying, Gayfesh, is that like as a public advocate, I guess I have to be clear that like people should be like, you have to be 100% sure that the state is not going to go like, I don't ever think it's even close in Kansas. If it were like, okay, we're 48% on some stuff and it's like genuinely really close, like, okay, cool. But yeah, I just don't really see how, like, I don't know. I'm just personally pretty just alienated from the whole thing. We pull shit out locally. Like, I will say, you know, like I said, when the popular vote matters, we voted to protect abortion rights. We generally, it's not uncommon for us to have Democratic governors, but yeah, I just don't really see how making absolutely sure to vote for president as a Kansas resident, I just don't really see that being something I feel particularly motivated by, I guess. I think there's zero reason to vote third party until you have ranked choice. Yeah, I mean, I guess the only point of voting third party... Okay, so here's how it is. For me, as a Democrat in Kansas, as a registered Democrat in Kansas, I'm either, by voting for Biden, I'm not actually doing anything. I am saying something. What I am saying with my vote by voting for Biden is, like, I support the Democratic Party and I want them to be in office, right? Because it doesn't actually matter. The vote does not matter. I am not making any difference in the outcome of the election. I am merely making a statement about what my intents for the country are, like, what are my beliefs, what do I want for the country. If I vote third party, I am making the statement that the Democratic Party has not earned my vote, basically, or that I disavow, essentially. Yeah, so I'm definitely, like, again, I always say vote down ballot and all that shit, like, don't not vote, but also recognize that voting is not really fixing anything right now, so we need to do other things to try to fix shit. I've been third-party voter until this coming election because I really didn't understand how dire shit was. We gotta work in the system we have, though. No, we don't. Like, again, you should vote for harm reduction purposes, and to affect things locally, okay? And the system that we have is fundamentally exploitative, and it doesn't work. And it mostly serves itself and the moneyed interests. Like, the system that we have is not working. I don't give a fuck about the president as long as there's a Democrat in the seat. The judicial and legislative branches are helped, and I view those as more important. Well, sure. Like, yeah, the voting for, like, House and Senate, those are still going to be important, especially if we can oust... But that's it's the thing. It's the Jerry fucking Mandering. It's like, even... like, it would be great if there was a big enough blue population in the state of Kansas that, like, we had enough votes that we could turn our, like, one of our 2 senators into a Democrat, maybe. I don't know. But, like, but because it's an aggregate of the different districts, and you can divide up those blue areas to be less powerful, like, yeah, it's just never gonna fucking change. I don't like the system we have, but we need more blue to make change. At least I hope. That's all I can do, even in a solid blue state. Just hurts to hear, I guess. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying it's like a fun moment. I'm not saying that I'm having fun. I just think, you know, when it comes to the big issues, like the superficial social issues, and yes, like I'm putting trans rights on the superficial social issues area, despite the fact that it is quite serious, obviously. But like looking at, you know, Israel and the alignment of values as it relates to capitalism, like we do have functionally, in a lot of ways, a one-party system. We have a system like we have one party who wants an overt fascist takeover, and another party that is like not really willing to do the thing that needs to happen to make that stop. In fact, they keep trying to reach a middle ground with these radicals, and it's like, why? Like how is that serving us as you're the governance of this place? How is that helping? Priority one is to keep the GOP out. Then when we are solid blue, we could fight for third parties and more choices. However, MAGA is our main enemy now. Yeah, but like even if you have Democratic majorities, now you have a conservative stacked Supreme Court who can like invalidate the stuff that you're doing and just kind of like make extra legal decisions just based on like I hate that it's all based on like bullshit interpretations of the Constitution, because they can lie. They can misrepresent what they actually interpret the Constitution to mean. I don't know. I'm just disillusioned. I think this is like I said, it's just like the how you end up being an anarchist is you're like, I don't know what the answer is, but it's not fucking this. Like I don't know what the correct thing to do is, but I am so 100% sure that it's not this thing that we're doing. I don't think that meaningful change is doable within the context. Yeah, if they try really, really hard, maybe the moderates could talk them down to only eating part of our faces. Only part. So, I don't know. Again, I'm not saying not to vote, especially if you live in a swing state, or if you live in a blue state, sure. And I did say last time, like last season, I was like, yeah, vote for Biden, do it. It might be that we need to demonstrate that even people in red states want Biden in there, and like you're stating that even though I know that my vote doesn't count, you know, I'm making a stand and voting for Biden and showing, and I'm contributing to the popular vote, you know, so that we can continue to make that argument that Biden won the popular vote, and that's why he should have won the whatever, you know. And like, so if I'm not contributing, then I guess what I'm going to be contributing to instead is look at how many people voted for someone else besides Biden. Because like I wish there was a way to count an abstention. I wish that on your voter card you could be like, I abstain from voting for president, as like to make a statement about your political refusal to engage. But I guess the only way to meaningfully do that is to vote third party. It's like, I refuse to engage with the bullshit that you've presented me. I'm going to vote blue all the way down the ballot, but I just don't want what you're putting on the table. Like, I don't want what you're trying to serve me right now. Or, of course, you could also write in Harambe. You can always write in Harambe, okay? That's always an option. That was kind of a little segment, though, wasn't it? Electoralism rant. I've slept in a car for the last 3 years. I don't care. I hope the state is abolished. Fucking amen. Dicks out for Harambe. Dicks! Can we get some dicks in chat for Harambe? And some likes on the video if you haven't already. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Should I burn these candles? Should I just, like, TKO these candles? I don't actually know if I have, a lighting utensil anywhere near me. Do I have a lighting utensil? No, I would have to go get one. Never mind. Yeah, just the nose. Just eat the nose. Yes, the spinning dicks. Thank you all. Thank you all for your subs and your dicks. As a socialist in Norway with 20 years of voting age, my vote finally counted for the first time 2 years ago. I see your point for not voting, especially with the US's flawed electoral system. Right, it's just frustrating. I'm just frustrated. I put my whole dick on the table in support of Biden last year. Not last year, last election, and I was like, okay, well, it sucks how literally nothing has gotten better, meaningfully. If I were green, I would write dicks in rainbow colors. No worries, Mersh. You got me this wonderful new camera that doesn't randomly shut off while I'm trying to talk. So, that's great. I appreciate you anyway. And I think if someone else does it, then if you did it immediately after, it would add to the combo. But yeah. Whoops. Yeah, whoops. There you go. It's in all caps now. Good grief. So anyway. We didn't really get into the its of it all in too much detail on the Transatlantic podcast, or the Transatlantic call-in show, although they are interested in having that discussion more going forward. Or at least I think Arden is interested in the discussion about its pronouns, because she was, like, bullied by kids calling her it when she was a kid, when she was, like, in high school. So she's like, I have trauma about it, but I am still trying. And she is trying. She's like, I have trauma, but I am still going to be respectful and try to use the pronouns because, you know, I can't just decide that it matters more than I'm uncomfortable. I'm like, cool. Like, I appreciate it when people are receptive to the argument, because my argument, of course, is just like, well, I might have trauma around being called she, her when I was a kid. Like, maybe that was weaponized against me, but I don't get to not call you by your pronouns. Or the example that I used today was your dead name. You know, it's like, I'm not gonna, like, refuse to call someone by their chosen name just because it happens to be my dead name. And Arden was like, oh no, for real though, I did just genuinely avoid anyone with my dead name. She was like, I was like, I cannot be friends with this person if they have my dead name. I want a caller to get combative about its pronouns. I want a caller to get combative in general. The last 2 times I've been on, we've had mostly, like, agreeable individuals, and it's honestly, like, a little bit boring. No, I'm just kidding. I enjoy the discussions, but it is kind of like, I am kind of expecting arguments when I go on there, and it's almost like a bit of a bummer if you don't get at least one. And I guess I did. I kind of argued with that guy about electoralism a bit, but, you know. I am just messing with my hair right now. Sorry. But yeah, we have fun on the line. I appreciate that Jimmy can get in touch with me short notice, because I think that the issue is that Katie needed to call out sick or something from the show this week. And so actually Jimmy just messaged me yesterday and was like, hey, can you fill in on the line tomorrow? And or he didn't say fill in, but he was like, would you be on the line? And I was like, yeah, sure, of course. And then we scheduled another one for November 30, so I'll be up there again. I still avoid people with my abuser's name, so I get that. Yes, what's up, Silent? Always good to see you here. And yeah, it makes sense to not. I know that you're supposed to refrain from compliments on appearance on the line, but Arden has the most adorable dimples. I like Arden's dimples. I also have dimples, but I think that it's on this side. I don't know if I have one on this side. I can't remember. But mine aren't nearly as cute as hers. Oh, gosh. I had an insurance rep on the phone who called me sir repeatedly. In spite of the fact that all my paperwork has she, her, and my legal name sounds female, I corrected her and she got nasty. It's funny. It's like you were given that name at birth. It's like this is the female name that I was given at birth and the female legal designation that I was given at birth. And yet because I sound different, you're going to be transphobic. Oh my god. Oh, thank you. Yes, we like my dimples too. Okay, well, that's good. Oh my god. Oh my god. At least I have a couple small segments already for today's stream that I could rapid fire upload tomorrow. So, okay, good. I at least did a little bit of my job in earnest this week. EP Luxander, a little bit. I did the Transatlantic Call-In show earlier, so I've already been on stream earlier today for 2.5 hours. So, yeah. Pro Dimple. We are pro Dimple in this chat. What's up, Mama Mephistopheles? We appreciate having you here. Yeah, just a little post-Takis discussion. Right, yep. So Takis was fun earlier. Excuse me. I fixed her up. I knew the whole thing was being recorded, and I told her sarcastically, "It was a rare pleasure talking to you today. You make quite an impression for your insurance company. Have a nice day." You're so cheeky, Mersh. You're so darn cheeky. Anyhow, oh gosh. Y'all, should I wear more interesting outfits on stream? I've kind of been thinking, like, should I have a wardrobe of things that I wear on stream? Or, I don't know. Right now I'm just comfortable in my pajamas, essentially. I'm sad because I have class during Takis, so I can't call in until the semester ends. Boo. When does the semester end? In December? Because I'm going to be on it again on November 30. Set up an outfit randomizer. Yeah, like, just take the items and, like, type in a short description or whatever, put it in a randomizer and have it, like, come up with... I'd have to do one tab for, like, shirts and one tab for, like, bottoms. Smuggy bottoms. Go comfy mode. Go comfy mode. That was Go Power Rangers. I really have so much more space to move around in, and I just don't for the most part. I just gotta sit here and be still with my thoughts. Which is just the worst. You know how it is. Being trapped with your thoughts. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. I'm gonna melt into my chair grandma style in December when the semester is over. My bottom ear's engaged. What do you want, Goth Sports Dad? Nothing. Except for your likes and your attention. That's mostly what I want. Ugh, okay, you have to yawn a little bit once in a while. But we're still trying to talk about stuff. I have a link open to the Humanist Report video about Mike Johnson, and I wasn't necessarily thinking we should watch the video itself because the Humanist Report, like, I don't want to respond to another news person talking about the news. It's like typically not what you want to do as a news person. But there's a bunch of links in here about Mike Johnson and how much of a weirdo he is. Oh my god, sorry, my eyeballs are crazy. I had 2 tests today and donated plasma and only got like 3 hours of sleep and just hauled up a load of groceries to my 3rd floor apartment. Why don't you go sleep? Go sleep. Hello, Leftist Owl. I'm doing okay. I'm eepy a little bit, but we're still trucking along, you know? We're here. We're queer. I think, isn't Mike Johnson? Yeah, like I think I thought that he was a different guy. Like I thought that his name was something else, but we did respond to him leading and also being on the transphobic side of the, was it the Senate Judiciary Committee? Was it? I think it was the Senate Judiciary Committee that we responded to a couple months ago. And yeah, he's just the worst. He's just the worst. Oh god, and he's so terrible in so many other ways too. What if we were to play a game called "What is this guy normal about?" and then guess what domains he might actually have a normal opinion on? Mikey here is going to be a challenge mode for this game. Oh my god. Can I DM you on Discord? Got something to ask. I can't guarantee that I'll respond to it today. But sure, you can message me. Oh my gosh, the stream analytics just disappeared completely. Uh-oh. It was the House Judiciary Committee. Okay. Ooh, gonna be starting my welding certification. Hell yes. Did you listen to his speech after the vote? It was surprisingly normal and dignified. Then I looked into who he actually is and was mortified. No, I've kind of only been seeing the headlines about this, like, you know, Vosh posting a video about it or little tweets or whatever. Like, I haven't, gone in detail yet. Like, I'm basically gonna have to do that now. Arden is cool. I love how she takes no shit from anyone. I do think she's pretty great. I look forward to chit-chatting with her more about politics and stuff. Okay, Emers. There's so many links here. Trying to curate some links. Didn't Mike Johnson also support the insurrection effort? I'm the kind of nerd who will watch the full floor votes. The Republicans were so proud of themselves after actually picking a leader. Pathetic. Because they didn't choose someone for like 3 weeks. It took them like several weeks to select someone. Hello, Kitty Tick. Welcome in. I fully agree this speaker is a huge oof. Right. If you're just coming in, hit the like button, even if you don't stick around. I'm kind of getting some info together so that I can try to have a cohesive segment about Mike Johnson. Okay, I'm getting some news articles together. We're getting some news articles together about how Mike Johnson sucks ass. Freedom Caucus just basically threw a coup of the House. They weren't going to let a non-MAGA get the chair. Fair enough. I hope the next time he's in a press conference, a reporter asks him how old he thinks the Earth is. Is he really? He's not really. There's no way. I'm just gonna take a lot of these links from the recount. Like, sorry, dude. He's a Christian fundy through and through. He literally cut his teeth as a lawyer fighting for young Earth creationist orgs to get tax exemptions, if I remember correctly. Oh my god. Oh, being a young Earth creationist, or at least willing to pretend you are, is very common among evangelicals. He doesn't believe dinosaurs are real. No. Nuh-uh. Is there something in here about this? I gotta find a link about this. Okay, yeah, I've seen some of these links. I've seen some of these little clips already. Okay. Okay, I've got a lot of links now. I can do a comprehensive... Hold on. But I gotta look up Mike Johnson, Young Earth Creationism. He used to lobby for a Noah's Ark theme park. There's a Guardian article. Oh, wait, was he? Wait. Also, Johnson, he worked for the Alliance Defending Freedom? Is that what we're talking about when he was a lawyer fighting for Young Earth Creationist orgs? He worked for the Alliance Defending Freedom. Okay. Okay, I found it. Okay, good. Does the Alliance Defending Freedom believe in Young Earth Creationism? Well, it's about him, like, representing someone else, right? But yeah, I don't know. Hold on. Earth Creationism. He used to lobby for a Noah's Ark theme park. Belief in generally what's called young Earth creationism revolves around the scientifically debunked and evidence-free idea that the creation days of Genesis 1 were a literal 6 24-hour days. Yeah, before his election to the House, Johnson worked as a spokesman and senior attorney to what's now known as the Alliance Defending Freedom, which is a legal advocacy group working to erase the boundary between church and state. In this capacity, Johnson, a Louisiana state senator at the time, filed suit against the state of Kentucky on behalf of Ken Ham, who runs the Same Answers in Genesis website, which serves as a, quote, scientific backstop attempt to justify the validity of young Earth creationism. Okay, so yeah, we will... Okay, let me put my segment hat on. We're about to actually start about this fucking Mike Johnson thing, okay? We're gonna start. We're gonna do it. I don't know if he himself disbelieves in dinosaurs, but he did help get government funding for the Ark Encounter. Yeah, he's definitely trying super hard. Oh my god. Today's stream, I'm trying to bring more energy, guys. I'm really trying. I should put my hair up or something, I don't know. Yeah, won't our faces be red when we finally realize we've all been fooled by Big Dinosaur? What's up, Ursa? Hello. Anyway. Jeez. I need to get one of those inflatable dinosaur costumes and crash his office while telling him the Earth is millions of years old. True. I was taught this crap growing up, and I assure you it's quite sincere. Entirely possible that Johnson is just going to be run by McCarthy. Just gotta collect myself for a second, and then we're gonna start the... I'm just gonna, like, look through all of these different tabs talking about how horrible Mike Johnson is. Because he's the worst. I'm just gonna chill for a second. And then we'll get into it. Tonight, y'all, I'm gonna make some pesto chicken. I'm excited to make pesto chicken. He's got the Freedom Caucus, but McCarthy has more support among the rest of the GOP. I mean, that's fair. Got a bowl of macerated strawberries. Delicious. I'm representing Louisiana in these trying times. Ursa, you're in Louisiana? Is Louisiana ever gonna be a purple state, do you think? Do you think Louisiana ever has a chance of going purple? The Freedom Cock. True. this hair away. Putting it away. Hit like if you're just coming in. We will get started on the Mike Johnson segment, collating all the reasons why this guy should not be in government at all, much less Speaker of the House. Freedom of cock and freedom from cock. True. Too many rural and underfunded areas in Louisiana for it to be purple? Sure. Wait, is that where Mike Johnson is from? Is he from Louisiana? He doesn't sound like he's from there at all. I'm gonna drive over to the Louisiana Hordes and we'll all be dinosaurs and flood his office. True. Just gonna go flood. Just gonna go raid the office. Oh god, I don't even know where to start here. We're just gonna have to pick a random place to start. He's from rural AF, Louisiana. He talked about it in his speech after the vote. Okay. I was in the Louisiana school system. It is not the best. Oh, man. Drink a little bit more water. So there's a new Speaker of the House, and I think that they could not, I don't know that they could have picked a worse person. Like, I don't know, I'm not confident that they could have picked a worse person, just based on, I had seen a little bit about Mike Johnson prior to this, because he was heading the House Judiciary Committee, the House Judiciary Committee, God, I can't talk, sorry, the House Judiciary Committee. And they hosted a conversation and we watched it. We responded to it on the channel, wherein they brought on 4 anti-trans witnesses and 2 pro-trans witnesses to discuss the idea of, like, the 14th Amendment as it applies to trans children and, like, whether they deserve trans care or whether their parents, quote, have the right to give them transition-related care. Anyway, Mike Johnson revealed himself as the head of that committee to be a transphobic dickhole, and he's also a dickhole about a lot of other stuff, so... Excuse me. They were talking about voting in Donald Trump for a bit there. I'd say Mike is a close second. Do we actually think that Mike Johnson... I understand that as Speaker of the House, I think that does that put him in line for, like, if something were to happen to Kamala and Biden? That's an insult to dickholes. True, I'm sorry. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. So there's not really a good place to start with Mike Johnson. All right, there's no really good starting point. So let's just start here. New Speaker of the House Mike Johnson once wrote in support of the criminalization of gay sex. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson has a history of harsh anti-gay language from his time as an attorney for a socially conservative legal group in the mid-2000s. Johnson, at the time, called homosexuality a, quote, inherently unnatural and, quote, dangerous lifestyle that would lead to legalized pedophilia and possibly even destroy, quote, the entire democratic system. Yeah. In another editorial, he wrote, quote, your race, creed, and sex are what you are, while homosexuality and cross-dressing are things you do. He said, this is a free country, but we don't give special protections for every person's bizarre choices. Being gay is just a bizarre choice. And so is cross-dressing. It has nothing to do with who you are. It simply is a thing that you do. Love that. So he was working for the Alliance, at the time it was known as the Alliance Defense Fund, but now we know it as the Alliance Defending Freedom, which is it's a legal organization that it, like, represents, I guess, usually plaintiffs in these situations where they're trying to campaign for like more conservative Christian influence in the law, essentially. Yeah, he's second in line for the Oval Office. Oh my god, it's the worst thing that has ever happened. It's not actually, but oh my god. I'm gonna catastrophize about it. Let's see. He authored his during his time then, he authored his opposition to the Supreme Court ruling in Lawrence v. Texas, which overturned state laws that criminalized homosexuality between consenting adults. So he authored an opposition to the Supreme Court ruling which said that you cannot criminalize homosexual activity, like between consenting adults. At the time, ADF wrote an amicus brief which supported maintaining the criminalization. Johnson wrote in an op-ed, quote, "States have many legitimate grounds to proscribe same-sex deviant sexual intercourse. By closing these bedroom doors, they have opened a Pandora's box," he added. Oh my god, like, I just always feel like so bad for conservatives. Like, their poor tiny little worldview, their poor tiny little brains, their tiny little itty-bitty baby brains, they're so threatened. They're like, oh my god, the whole country, the whole entire concept of democracy is going to collapse because a man put his penis in the butthole of another man. You can't do it. You can't do it. Oh my god. So this other guy, Tom Emmer, initially beat out Johnson for the speaker nomination. He came under fire from conservatives for voting to codify same-sex marriage in 2022. Johnson reportedly made an issue of Emmer's vote. Since Johnson voted against the bill, that was last year. In 2022, Johnson also introduced a bill that some describe as a national version of what critics have called the Don't Say Gay bill out of Florida. Okay, cool. So Mike Johnson penned that law. That's, again, it's basically like you are not allowed to acknowledge homosexuality in a school environment at all until the kids are a certain age. And a lot of the time they're just trying to say until they're 18. Like, you can't talk about it in public schools at all. When Washington State voted to legalize gay marriage, my mom called me hoping for words of comfort, and I was like, LMO, LMAO, stay mad. Goodness gracious. So basically, he's been terrible like this for a while. You know, he used to say things explicitly like, homosexual relationships are inherently unnatural, and the studies clearly show are ultimately harmful and costly for everyone. Society cannot give its stamp of approval to such a dangerous lifestyle. Literally just having normal relationships that happen to be with people of a certain gender is apparently a completely, like, dangerous, horrendous thing to do. If we change marriage for this tiny modern minority, we'll have to do it for every deviant group. Polygamists, polyamorists, pedophiles, and others will be next in line to claim equal protection. I feel like polygamy and polyamory, like, you might as well have just said one of those things instead of both of those things, but whatever. And then, of course, the slippery slope argument. Yeah. So this guy, that's just to start with, okay? That's just number one. All right, let's start with that, number one. Hold on. Let's pick another one. Where do we have another one? Yeah, here's a different article. The Don't Say Gay law. Republicans introduced bill to restrict LGBTQ-related programs. So, like, what was this? I'm sure that we went over this at the time. Mike Johnson and 32 other Republican members introduced this bill. The bill defines sexually oriented material as any depiction, description, or simulation of sexual activity, any lewd or lascivious depiction or description of human genitals, or any topic involving gender identity, gender dysphoria, transgenderism, sexual orientation, or related subjects. So on the federal level, attempting to equate any topics discussing the idea of gender identity or dysphoria or being trans with depictions of genitals and lascivious sexual activity. Yeah, so this is, you know, just to, like, add on to that previous point here. Okay, I need my headphones for this one. Pedocon theory is gonna hit him like a ton of bricks within a year, Mama Mephistopheles predicts. If it doesn't, I will live stream eating a whole rotisserie chicken. Hey, you know, you can go to the store sometimes and you'll get those rotisserie chickens that are like this big. I feel like if I just didn't eat for the first half of the day, I could eat an entire rotisserie chicken this big. Like, it would not be that hard. The only thing that sucks about eating an entire rotisserie chicken is that you have to pick around all of the connective tissue parts. It's pretty annoyed. I can't wait for Colbert to get his Johnson impersonation down. That it certainly would be a fun time. Okay, let's see. Here's a thing about Roe v. Wade.
Roe v. Wade gave constitutional cover to the elective killing of unborn children in America. Period. You think about the implications of that on the economy. We're all struggling here to cover the bases of Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and all the rest. If we had all those able-bodied workers in the economy, we wouldn't be going upside down and toppling over like this. Listen,
the gentleman
I will not yield. I will not. Roe was a terrible corruption of America's constitutional jurisprudence. Roe v. Wade gave...
So he's saying, he's saying that abortion needs to be illegal because people getting abortions is reducing the overall number of workers. It's also really interesting. When was this clip from? I don't know when the clip was actually from, but it's really rich for this rhetoric to be being used. And frankly, it's not unlikely that this is from within the last couple years. I'm really curious though. I don't know when it was from, but so it's interesting. I wonder, a modern critique, if this was something he said today, would be, well, you're going to use the abortion thing to talk about the lack of laborers in the workforce, but it's actually probably a lot to do with like the fact that you're letting a bunch of laborers die from the preventable airborne, like, what is it, a BSL-3 pathogen? New streaming genre, trans people eat whole chickens. True. Rotisserie chickens are yummy. They're delicious. I'm 100% sure though. Okay, yeah. I mean, I will see you do this chicken thing. I'll see it. I'll witness it. If this guy turns out... Well, okay, so it's interesting that you say that, because... Hold on. I gotta find this link. Yeah, so it's interesting that you bring up the pedocon theory because Matt Gaetz seems to be on board fully with this.
It is going to be a great moment for the House. And you know what? At the very end, when some people didn't know if they could still even bring back McCarthy, a few of them just left the room and didn't vote. And the swamp is on the run. MAGA is ascendant. And if you don't think that moving from Kevin McCarthy to MAGA Mike Johnson shows the ascendance of this movement and where the power in the Republican Party truly lies, then you're not paying attention. But they are crying, they are hand-wringing and bedwetting over on K Street because we have an honorable, righteous man who is about to take this position. He's going to do great things for the country.
Yeah, so I feel like if you wanted to say, okay, well, it seems like Mike Johnson might be pedocon, then I would say that Matt Gaetz's ringing endorsement would be perhaps an indication that you might be onto something there. Like, you might be onto something there. I don't know. I don't know, though. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know. I don't know. Jiminy Christmas. It's called a mukbang. It is called a mukbang. Gates is such a putz. Yeah, I don't know. He's got too many teeth. Let's see how is Mike Johnson on economic issues? Do you think? What do you think he is on economic issues?
It's an important point, isn't it? And again, once again, this is going to set those of you who and RSC potentially on a collision course with others who call themselves conservatives, who have a more populist bent, and who are more comfortable with the government doing things that you think are inconsistent with conservative principles. This leads me to my next question. I think that principle number 2 of your 7 was limited government, right?
Right.
Was that 2 or 3? I can't remember.
Number 2, right after individual freedom.
Individual freedom and limited government. And I think you and I would agree that individual freedom and limited government are, opposite sides of the same coin. Right. It's difficult as somebody dedicated to principles of limited government to see the ballooning out of the deficit and a complete abandonment of entitlement reform. Your thoughts? We'll start with Mike, and we'll go to Mark.
We have to get back to it as a number 1 priority. The CBO says that entitlement spending, which they define as Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, interest on the debt, right? Those 4 obligations we eclipse
Entitlement spending, they continue to call this stuff.
GDP in a dozen years or something. I mean, this can no longer be kicked down the road. You can't wait 8 years to address this. It has to happen yesterday. So we have to have our hand at the wheel and do this. We are completely derelict in our duty. We're rearranging furniture on the Titanic if we don't get this problem under control.
So he's like not for Medicaid spending, basically. Hold on.
And if we don't begin to scale that back, we're going to lose. We're still an experiment, right, in government, the constitutional republic. We're 242 years into this. We don't know how long it's going to last. And the founders warned us, you got to keep these things under constraint. Or
this
else
is an existential threat? Is it your view this is
absolutely.
To our American way of life?
Absolutely, yeah. Our whole form of government. And
they're talking about entitlement programs, the same segment on cutting Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare. Yeah, so he does not seem to support paying for old people to have medical care. Not a thing that he's into. Okay, hold on. I'm looking at some stuff. Is this his acceptance
in their tallies
speech?
that the total number of votes cast is 429.
Is this just him winning
of which
the vote? Is this just him winning and getting clapped
Jeffries
for?
of the state of New York has
Yeah, okay, got it. Thanks. It's like I didn't know what all these links were. Okay. I don't really need this one. Go away. Oh, this is another fun thing. So speaking of Mike Johnson's time back working for the Alliance Defending Freedom, he also, as a legal advisor or he was a senator at the time or something, he worked with this group and he supported their efforts to, for example, young Earth creationism, supporting all kinds of crazy stuff like helping the ARC get funding. Before his election to the House, Johnson worked as a spokesman and senior attorney to the Alliance Defending Freedom. He filed suit against the state of Kentucky on behalf of Ken Ham, who runs the Answers in Genesis website, serving as a attempt to justify the validity of young Earth creationism. This 2015 lawsuit by Ham demanded economic subsidies from the state's tourism-focused sales tax to realize his dream of building a Bible-based Noah's Ark theme park in northern Kentucky. And Mike Johnson helped make that happen. Speaker of the House filed suit for Ham to get access to that money. Despite the fact that young Earth creationism has been almost completely rejected by the scientific establishment. If we remember that debate back in the day, Bill Nye versus Ken Ham. Boy, that was a fun one. It was a good time. So, yeah, so he's a young Earth creationist. So either he really genuinely believes in young Earth creationism, the idea that the Earth is only 6 or 10,000 years old, or he's willing to advocate for such in a legal situation where someone's trying to get funding for, trying to access state funding for tourism stuff to support your ideological theme park, pushing the idea that creationism is real. Public funding for public education regarding young Earth creationism, I guess. Good stuff. Right. Getting more links. More links. This I included just because it's pretty weird. It's pretty weird. Mike Johnson on his wife Kelly not being in attendance for his ascension to House Speaker.
She spent the last couple of weeks on her knees in prayer to the Lord, and she's a little worn out. She spent the last couple of weeks on her knees in prayer to the Lord, and she's a little worn out.
What the fuck does that mean? Is that not one of the weird... I'm sorry, I'm ignoring you, Shellbell. Hold on. That's like... what does that mean? His wife is not in attendance for his ascension to House Speaker because she spent the last couple of weeks on her knees in prayer to the Lord, and she's a little worn out. What does that mean? Does it mean that she has long COVID and they don't want to say so? Like, yeah, true. Mama, I know you, yeah, you spend a lot of time on your knees, I'm sure. Like, what? That's so creepy. It makes it sound like you have her hogtied in your basement. Like, where is your wife, sir? I would like to know where she is. Okay, anyway, thank you, Shellbell, so much, giving the gifted tier 1 sub, saying Mike Johnson strikes me as a man in desperate need of the combined powers of both a mommy dom and a daddy dom. True. I think he would enjoy that. He would have a good time. Oh my gosh. Anyway. Oh man, this stream is not bumping. This stream is not a highly successful stream. We're struggling a little bit to get back into the swing of things. But that's okay. That's what happens when you take time off as a YouTuber. Things don't stay good. Okay, let's get rid of that. And another thing that I don't have a link open for right this second is that, like, I'm pretty sure Mike Johnson supported the insurrection. Like, he was like, yeah, let's go, let's get him. Jiminy Christmas. So, anyway, hit the like button real quick if you haven't already. That's good for the channel. So, why is it that the Republicans are supporting this one guy after like 3 weeks of not being able to successfully push anyone through as Speaker of the House after ousting McCarthy? Why are they supporting this guy? So let's look at some stuff real quick. Okay, is there...
Obviously.
Okay, hold on. So, yeah, let's look at this on Mediaite.com. Right, the right guy at the right time. Republicans tell CNN's Manu Raju why they are rallying around Mike Johnson for Speaker.
Obviously, I did not support the removal of Kevin McCarthy. I think it was, arguably the stupidest move ever made in politics. But we have to move forward. And so we're going to rally around Mike Johnson and elect him Speaker tomorrow and get back to work.
It's a different situation now. There was a trust factor with leadership last time.
You guys are going to give him some leeway on that? Yeah, was it worth throwing out McCarthy for Johnson?
Well, look, I mean, that's not actually the question at this point. The question here is Mike Johnson the right guy at the right time? And I think he is.
So Mike Johnson is relatively inexperienced in his 4th term in the House, former conservative talk show host, former state legislator.
Interesting. Okay, so I guess I did not hear a lot of specifics there. There was a trust factor with leadership last time. Raju summed up his reporting. A former conservative talk show host, former state legislator, someone who sits on the House Judiciary Committee, someone who aligns himself with some of the far-right members of his conference in terms of his ideology of social conservative politics and the like, also led the effort in the House to try to overturn the 2020 election, something some of his critics will point out as well, but nevertheless still expected to get the votes on the House floor today. There's going to be dealing with huge issues of government funding, such as aid to Israel and Ukraine. And then, yeah, so these weeks of Republican infighting have only sidetracked their efforts to deal with those key issues, something Johnson will likely have to confront immediately. Okay, what are these people saying about why they support him?
Committee. I want to bring in somebody who just voted, Ken Buck, Republican of Colorado, who is here with me now.
Johnson.
Oh, why Mike Johnson?
Guest.
You know, probably because he has the fewest enemies of anybody in the Republican
Well,
conference.
that's a ringing endorsement.
Well, it's the reality of where we are right now with 4-vote majority. Mike is one of those people who gets along with everybody, and he's well respected. And I think those two factors played a big role in this.
Oh,
Did you ever think that a Speaker of the House would get this close to and probably attain the gavel because he or she has the fewest enemies in the House? I mean, that doesn't sound like the headline of a resume.
True.
No, I don't think it's the headline of a resume, but I do think it is part of what we do in the House. We get along with people, and those who don't get along with people don't rise to this type of level.
Just admitting that it's a social club, just admitting that it's like that you will not get anything done unless you're well liked. Like, no matter how good your proposals are, people won't consider them unless you're well liked, and no matter how bad your proposals are, people will consider them even if, like, just because you are well liked. Oh my God.
One of the things that you wanted to hear from Jim Jordan when he was the nominee was a promise that, well, not a promise, but a public statement that he believed that Joe Biden is the legitimate president. We've not heard that yet from Mike Johnson. Did you get a promise privately from him that he will make that public statement?
I have not gotten that promise from Mike. I hope he comes around to that point because it's obvious that Joe Biden is the legitimate president. The more that people like Mark Meadows' statements start to come out, it's clear that the people around Donald Trump told Donald Trump that he had lost the election. I think it's time for Republicans to shed themselves of that burden and move forward.
Okay, so basically Mike Johnson, who is now like third in line to the presidency after Kamala, like doesn't believe that Joe Biden is the valid president. Like well, at least he'll say so. He's like, nope, Joe Biden not the real president. Nuh-uh. Like, how do you have a job still? Like, why are there not more mechanisms for ousting people who do horrendous shit? It's like I don't know, like, why is the bar for what counts as horrendous shit so high? It just seems like it should be easier to call special elections for some of these people and be like, well, okay, it doesn't really matter if you guys want this person to continue being the person that you voted for. Like, they are not allowed to run anymore because they are, like, not following decorum or, like, just, like, supporting an insurrection. Like, seriously, how can you think that the president hasn't earned his presidency and, like, be working for him at the same time? Like, I don't get it. So yeah, I mean, TLDR, like, having gone through all of those different links, like, Mike Johnson is a homophobe. He supports the criminalization of gay acts. He's not just against gay marriage. He supports the criminalization of gay behavior. He thinks that women should be forced to have babies because we need more workers. It's like, it's creepy shit. And it also, like, harkens back to the uncomfortable reality of, like, slave breeding and, like, the systematic rape of black women. He's also in support of cutting Social Security, which, again, is supposed to be the like, thing that you pay into that will pay out when you get old. It's, like, supposed to do that. You pay, like, that's the reason why my taxes are so high every year. Like, I'm self-employed. I did not make very much money, and yet I still owed $2,000 on my taxes last year because I have to pay twice as much taxes as everybody else on the Social Security and Medicare. Most of the time, your employer covers a lot of that for you. So, like, yeah, he just supports a lot of horrendous things. And, of course, he's on this, like, parents don't have the right to transition their children thing, and writing a Don't Say Gay bill. Like, we managed to rapid fire go through it. He ticks basically all the boxes for being everything we don't want in the government right now if we want good social policy and like decent safety networks and safety support social networks like for like poor people and for disadvantaged Americans. Like, we just don't want him anywhere near a position of power, and yet here he is. So, you know, he's affable and like all the Republicans like him, and he's good at getting things done as far as like rallying the Republicans together. So this is what American politics has sunk to. You happen to have few political enemies amongst the Republicans, I guess, and so they're hoping that you'll be able to get more done. Oh yeah, don't sell him short. I'm sure his fiscal policies are also terrible. Oh sure, and I'm sure his foreign policy is great. That's the one thing. Mike Johnson, he's a conservative about everything except he's pro-Palestine. That's the one thing. He's gonna sneak attack us. He's out there like, hashtag free Palestine. Apparently Mike Johnson has been running for the House unopposed in Louisiana. If you live in Louisiana, run for office in wherever it is that Mike Johnson lives, please. Please. Oh, God. All right, I'm done talking about this clown. Is there something more fun that we can do for the last part of stream? I don't want to be here anymore. I'm like, okay, look, I've gotten some content. It's like, what if I just got off stream and immediately went to editing, and then I just had content ready to go at 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow? Wouldn't that be great? Oh my god. Here on stream or like here on the Mortal Coil? More the first one. I'm just tired, and I still have to cook dinner, so... Like, it's like, I just... Doing the transatlantic call-in show. There's a reason why I don't do it that often. Because I stream on the same day, and it's just hard to fit both in. And we tend to go kind of long. If I was on, like, if for only an hour and a half or 2 hours, which I think is the intended length of that show, it might be a little bit easier. But, like, oh god. It takes time to get back in the groove. Don't push yourself. I'm trying not to. But listen... Consistency is key in this job, and like, yeah, it's nice to say, you know, it's good that I can take the rest when I need it, and I also do not make money when I rest. So, you know, I'm trying to save up for a like transnational move in like a little bit more than a year. So I'm gonna have to start requesting donations more often and mentioning the Patreon and stuff more, because for sure. You know, if I'm going to be taking the extra time off, then, like, I need to make more money while I am streaming. Cease the means of production? No, you mean me ceasing the means of functioning. Exactly. Transnational, the trans agenda has gone too far. I know. But yeah, I'm trying to move, like, to an entire new state all the way across the country. So I have to, you know, start making it the money. Make it more money. I've gotten really deep into the crochet recently, so maybe I can start hosting some little tiny like auctions or something, or just like the raffle on my Patreon. I wonder how much that would increase the likelihood that people would subscribe to my Patreon if I started that little raffle thing. I really need to get around to it. I should make a mac and cheese. I had some mac and cheese the other night. And it was really delicious. It was really yummy. I had a nice bowl, and I gave my partner a nice bowl of mac and cheese. Tonight, I'm making chicken, and I think I'm gonna do it. It's like, I'm just gonna do a little pesto chicken. Nothing, I'm not like a lot of pesto, but just like I'll bake the chicken with a little bit of pesto on top of it. And then my sides are gonna be like a rice pasta thing in a packet that's like creamy chicken flavor. And some green beans. That's what tonight is about. Tonight is about green beans and chicken and pasta, rice, stuff. And I'm looking forward to it. I like eating clean, fresh food. good stuff. Oh, God. I'm, like, complaining, like, oh, I have to stream, otherwise I don't make money. And it's like, if the donations have been really slow the last few months, even when I'm streaming anyway, so that's interesting. I'm not bitching, it's just still interesting. Like, it's a weird time of year, I guess. I gotta make sure my wish lists are in shape so that starting in November or whatever, I can start posting, like, ooh, Christmas playlists. A pinch of pesto and pasta. I've been on a weird hot dog kick lately. Sometimes I'm like, I really crave hot dogs, and I'll just eat an entire container of hot dogs over the course of a week. This chat is really into the mac and cheese. Y'all, are we really into the carbs? We love carbs. They're delicious. Okay? We get into the mac. The mac and the cheese and the cheese and the mac. Oh my God, guys, next week I'm gonna go back to the gym and I'm so fucking ready. Oh my God, I'm so ready to go back to weightlifting. Oh my God. And I need to do cardio and stuff as well, but I'm like, primarily, I'm just like, oh my God, I miss being at the gym. I'm so excited to go back. Mac's Famous Mac and Cheese? Is that an It's Always Sunny thing? Mac's Famous Mac and Cheese? I've been watching some It's Always Sunny recently with Silent. It's been fun. It's been a good time. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited about doing so much Halloween crochet. It's just a good moment. I'm gonna crochet a tiny little Grim Reaper. This is the part of the stream where any structured thought goes completely out the window. No more structured thought. No more ideas. No more brain. It's empty. Brain is gone. Where did brain go? Gone forever. Oh gosh. Anyway. Koala brain gang? What is a koala brain? I love endorphins. Tomorrow is arm day for me. Ooh. I need to lift weights to get rid of stress. Yeah, I'm so glad that other people are also interested in working out. I saw Vosh posting on Blue Sky. He was like, well, since they're getting rid of Twitter circles, I guess I'm gonna have to go be over here now and like maybe threaten to start working out again. And I was like, do it! Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it! I don't know if he's gonna do it, though. I should message him and be like, bro, get these fucking gains, bro. I wonder if I DM him and was like, let's have a flexing competition. I wonder if I could get into a flexing competition with Vosh. Maybe I should just do that publicly. Fuck, I'm out of butter. I can't make mac and cheese. No! What can you sub in for butter? I bet you could probably just do a little bit of vegetable oil, right? Like, it doesn't have the milk solids, but just like a small amount of vegetable oil? I don't know. I occasionally flood my bad news with good pet news. Koalas have smooth brains like pearls. Vosh would just start combing his stash. That is his flex. I know, I can't grow a mustache. I maybe could someday, but I keep plucking it out, so it's probably not going to happen for a while. Not gonna happen for a while. I could have sworn that I saved a... I could have sworn that I had a pattern open recently that was like a... That was like a little Grim Reaper guy. Oh, maybe I had to save it as a PDF on my computer. That's a possibility. Plucking won't stop you from growing a mustache. Yes, it does. Like, I have a bald spot on my leg from tweezing out my hairs on my leg. So, like, you definitely can cause enough scar tissue that you won't grow hair anymore. It's a pretty substantial bald spot on my leg. Like, this big. Just because I used to sit at my desk here and just... Yeah. It takes a lot of doing, but yeah, you can absolutely fuck your hair from and prevent it from growing anymore. Yeah, there's a Gwim Weepo. Oh, that's what his name is. Look at this guy, the Gwim Weepo. I'm gonna make it and like put him around somewhere. He's gonna be so cute. I'm so excited. We have fun. Why did I pay so much for laser? I mean, it's obviously more effective to do laser, obviously. Oh my god. Ugh. So I think next year I want to go to a different pumpkin patch, because one of the pumpkin patch that I often go to doesn't really have much of an entry fee, and like, but there's not very much stuff there. It's mostly you just go and pick your pumpkin out, you know? And it's like there's a reason why we go to that one, even though it's a bit of a drive. It's because like, oh, I don't want to have to pay for entry. I mostly just want to go and pick out my pumpkins. But next time I want to do like, I want to do the cider, and I want to go on like, I want to go through the maze, I want to go on the hay bale ride or whatever. Like, I just, maybe the experience is worth it. And I honestly, I do think that one of the local pumpkin patches does like a winter thing too, a little ticketed winter event. And I'm like, oh my god, wouldn't that be a cute little date to go on with my partner? Go be cold, like, go, maybe I'll strap some furs to my body and go be out in the cold. There's a spot on the edge of my beard where sometimes I will get a trichotillomania fixation on, and even though I haven't had a flare-up in a while, I'm feeling it, and it is noticeably smoother than the rest of my face. Yeah, my partner has a spot in his beard where, because he would just sit and, like, not deliberately pull them out, but just be pulling on the hairs there, and they would start to just come out, which is why my hair looks so thin up front here, because I just run my fingers through my hair, but it's basically pulling it, like tugging it a little bit, and a bunch of my hair fell out. I think my uneven hair growth is due to my weird genetics. I also have sectoral heterochromia in one eye due to chimerism. That side of my face grows longer hair. Yeah, so you just have, like, one side of your face is one person and the other half of your face is another person. Shaving my face was always the most dysphoric thing for me. Now I just use a home laser thingy every few weeks and I pluck every few days and I'm fine. Are those home laser things safe? I kind of always assumed that they would be pretty dangerous. Like, who knows if they could make a cancer happen. I think it's okay to charge for entry if they have activities, but pumpkin picking should just be the cost of a pumpkin and cheaper than the grocery store since you're doing the labor and transport of goods. Yeah. It wasn't too expensive. Like, we got a few good-sized pumpkins and a couple of little baby pumpkins, which Oh, I don't have any real pumpkins over here. I decided to put them in my kitchen, in my cornucopia in my kitchen. But yeah, so I think, I was just being cheap before, but I do think next year I want to find a pumpkin patch that's like actually cute and fun. Oh my god, do they even have them in Washington? Someone in the Pacific Northwest, sound off. Do you guys even have pumpkin patches up there? Can they even grow up? They have to, come on. You have to have pumpkin patches. It's not the same, obviously. It's not going to be like a giant flat area with like fields all around, because it's like the topography just doesn't support that. But like, okay, you do. In like Washington State, you have pumpkin patches? Listen, I'm not ready to give this up. If you crank the settings and start blasting your upper lip, it's going to hurt like crazy, but they're not too intense at mid settings. Okay. I have an epilator. That's what I use right now, is an epilator. For my leggies. But for my face, I just pluck. And that seems to do. I have one on the Oregon coast. Okay. In New England, we usually have 2-in-1 pumpkin patches and apple picking fields. Oh! I'm jealous. We do not have apple picking fields. Like, we don't have huge numbers of apple trees here. Ugh. I'm so jealous. Okay. Well, stream is dwindling. There's only like 20 people here. and I'm Sleppy Beppy. And I know that it's a little bit earlier than usual, but that's fine. We still came on here. We're keeping consistent. At least we were here. We went for almost 2 hours. I'm going to go make dinner. And as far as I know, I will be seeing you on Sunday. So enjoy your little weekend. And I'll see you at noon on Sunday. So glad the Sunday streams are happening again. Okay? Be good. Be good, little babs.